These here are all 5R3s. We've got 4 string sets that are using 5R3s, but we need a root position one. But this gives us other options. These 4 are absolutely marvellous. I'm just going to name these shapes here. Now this one here, what shape does that look like? It looks like the bottom half of a G chord, because it's your G shape. This is what's different about these. These ones here, these are all 5R3s. These here are going to be root, 3rd and 5th triads. So we've got root, 2nd, 3rd, 5th, 6th. It's exactly the same shape, guys. Look. So I could take the G chord here. There. And I'm just playing it in its natural position, in its easiest position to see. You can see that that's where it lives. But we're looking for that. We're looking for the root, 3rd, 5th. Now if I wanted to do it in A, all I need to do is picture that part of the shape there. Look, if you can see the G shape, or if you imagine that you had a capo on there, transposing the whole thing. So now I go. So you have the G shape. But hang on, are we done with this idea? We're still looking for that root note there. If I put my head note on there, what shape does it look like? If I had another finger there. You've got to relate them to the chords, because then they'll fit on top and you'll play the correct sounds. Pentatonics are skeletons. Pentatonics are 5-note scales. Diatonic scales are 7-note scales. If you saw the lesson, guys, I did on adding 2 notes to the pentatonic box patterns, and all you did was to turn the pentatonics into modes, you added 2 extra notes. So you think about it, this idea, it ends up becoming something bigger. And it's going to help you to see notes that are close. You'll see the scale degrees, and you might think to yourself, actually, I can add that to the chord and make it into an add 9 or whatever, like I was talking about last week with chord shapes. So we've got the C shape. Let's draw it out again. Let's do the same thing. Root, 2nd, 3rd. If you're thinking to yourself, yeah, Ricky, we get it. We understand the shape and everything else. You don't need to draw all of them out. I do need to draw all of them out. I'll tell you for why. Because if something is nice and boring of understanding what the shape is and seeing the shape, it's like someone saying to you the same thing over and over again until you know it. You just know it. So I'm drilling this, and I do not apologize for repeating this, because you need to see all the permutations, and it needs to feel just a little bit like, yeah, I know it. And then because you know it, next time you pick up your guitar and you try to implement it, it'll be a no-brainer to add this to your shapes. This is the thing. Reinforce. That's what I always do. So I can play my C chord now. I did this earlier, didn't it? If you think about it, 5R3. That's my second inversion. There's the full C shape. So now I can see where it lives in the proper, let's call it the proper C shape here, right? Okay, so that's the C shape. Let's move along. We're going to move along another string pair. Who knows what shape this comes from? It's good to work these 3 shapes together and see how similar they are. And you'll notice that 5th there, look at the G shape, look where the root, 3rd and 5th is, and how that fret separates them. Look at the root, 3rd and 5th on the C shape, and look how that fret separates them. And then look at the root, 3rd and 5th here on this triad, and how that fret has disappeared, because that 5th is now on the B string, and we've hit the compensation zone. We have to move this along. So that's a C shape, all right, and this one is an E shape. I'm going to play it on this G here. So this is a G bar chord, but I'll disassemble it, get rid of the bar, okay, and I'll put my first finger on there to get that 5th, and then I'm going to move that finger down there, and you can see that's where I get that shape from. This is my root, this is my 3rd, this is my 5th. So if I take this now, same pattern. We only need 2 patterns. Let me write them in. It isn't hard. It's very repetitive, but you've got to do this. Repetition is your friend. Repeat it to defeat it, guys. Repeat it to defeat it. And this is going to happen anywhere. So if you've got this, you know you're in the key of G? Where do you start? I'm keeping the licks very, very simple. So it's a root position. These are all root positions though, if you want to think about it. That's a root position, root position, root position. So next shape, and this is going to be borrowing from the A shape. But if we think about the A shape, look at the A shape, it goes root, third, fifth. And that's the part of the shape we're going to use. We're going to go root, third. Oh, cracky, I've done this on an open string, but it's okay. We know where it is. I'm just going to cross that over onto that. Put a line through that just to show you. Root, third, fifth. We go second, third, fifth, sixth. This is from the A shape. Sorry, my bad. I've made a mess of this. I've not compensated. We end up with the rhomboid. It's because I didn't compensate there. Because I was focusing more on the pattern. Right, so, because we're on the G string. Right, so, and that's the shape. Now, what's ended up happening is we get all of those shapes. Those shapes are all there, guys. We've got 8 patterns there now. We've got a super useful way of tackling the major pentatonics and applying them to the triads. And there's only 2 triads that we're doing there as well.